when we saw DeFi growing, we started to think, okay, what's good to build on Algorand? And that's where it came, folksfinance as a lending protocol.
The decentralized finance space has been brimming with protocols across the board, solving for capital inefficiencies and more. Today, we talk about one such protocol, folksfinance. Folksfinance is a leading capital markets protocol for borrowing and lending built on the Algorand blockchain. It stands on 4 strong pillars, being carbon neutral, ease of use, innovative features, and being community-centric. To talk about the project, we have Ben with us today. Ben is the CEO of folksfinance and has a rich experience in the integration and application of blockchain in notarization, tokenization, DAOs, and DeFi. We are stoked to have you with us today, Ben. Welcome to CuratedX and look forward to an interesting chat with you today.
Likewise, thank you so much for having me, Chadi, and I'm very excited to start discussing about folks and me, whatever you want. Like, I'm here all for you.
Absolutely. Thank you. So to get the ball rolling, Ben, if you can walk us through your blockchain journey, where did you get the idea of building a DeFi protocol?
I'll give a bit of background about myself. So I'm an engineer. I was graduating in mechanical engineering. Then I simply didn't like this. I was working as a mechanical designer, so I thought that my way would have been better in being a manager. So I moved into management engineering. And after that, I started to work as project engineer into a software house, which is called Blockchain Italia. Blockchain Italia is a software house based in Milan. And we developed software with blockchain. And Blockchain Italia was between the 12 first global partner of Algorand. So when we saw DeFi growing, we started to think, okay, what's good to build on Algorand? And that's where it came, folksfinance as a lending protocol. Obviously, we already knew the technical advantages of Algorand. We can talk about this later if we want. But what we really thought that is important for us to build a lending protocol on Algorand, it was the institutional trust that this blockchain has. And obviously a lending protocol, when we are thinking of traditional finance and DeFi merging, it's for sure the first point.
Absolutely, makes a lot of sense. So just to dig a little bit deep into the business model, if you can explain what folksfinance essentially does and what differentiates folksfinance from any other lending or borrowing protocols which are there in the Web3 stack.
Okay, let's start again with a bit of journey history. So we have, once we wanted to build this DeFi project, we have applied for the Algorand Europe accelerator. So this accelerator was 3 months. And during these 3 months, there was no virtual machine on Algorand. So it was a very big challenge building a lending protocol on Algorand. Who is developing in blockchain knows how much is important virtual machines. And simply, we started to try to copy what it was already on Ethereum. So it was Aave and Compound and build it on Algorand. But honestly, in these 3 months, we were mostly copying. And then we finished the accelerator. We had a demo live. And this was, a success. But we thought, okay, what's best for us to do in order to be not, just a blending protocol on Algorand, but also to be innovative compared to the others. So we took the summer. It was May when we finished it. So we took the summer as period of research, and we started to dive deeper into what it was, the economical design of Aave. And out of that, we found out different inefficiencies. For example, the incentive model. We really didn't like the way incentives are being done in general on DeFi. You could borrow, pay 5% APR, and earn 10% incentives. So you understand that this is not sustainable. And obviously, it's just, to attract people that are going to steal incentives. It's not really giving a high value to the protocol. So we just changed this into a loan cashback. And for us, it is much more efficient, because simply how it works, it is that. So you are taking out a loan. When you repay your interest, so you are giving the protocol a revenue, then you are receiving a cashback over this interest repaid. We are not going to incentivize users such as bad borrowers that are being liquidated. So that's for us one of the major change. Indeed, also there are changes, for example, on the way innovation on the way we structure the parameterization of the loan, such as loan to value, liquidation threshold, and so on. We are very efficient, because we have a smart contract for each crypto pair collateral borrowed asset, and this allows us to set very efficient parameters, and the user can check it directly and compare it to the others. There are many pools, so it's different to even do an example. But this allows to have a better efficiency out of your capital, and also being secure, because the protocol so far, we are live on mainnet since April. We never had missed the liquidation, always worked perfectly. So we are very happy about that. And in general, just to conclude, we are not just a lending protocol. We have a set of features that usually in other chain or in other app, you would see it as different projects. We are all in one place, such as we have a loan notifier that allows you to set up alarm on Discord, Telegram, and email if you are getting liquidated. We also have the opportunity to the users to download their history of movements operation on the protocol, which is hugely helpful, for example, for investment funds, where they have to keep track of their movements. As well, we have one very important feature, which is the Algo Liquid governance. This is strongly related to the Algorand ecosystem, but in few words, what it is, it's a liquid mechanism for doing governance, which is normally provided from the Algorand Foundation. So in order to participate to Algorand Foundation governance, you have to commit your algo. With us, you commit your algo, but you mint one-to-one G-algo. So you have a liquid asset that you can spend around the ecosystem, and G-algo, it's being integrated in all the DEX, as well on NFT marketplace. We are also integrating with gaming. So it's a very better option compared to what it could be the normal governance of the Algorand Foundation.
Definitely. I think it's a very fascinating journey how you started off. You figured out these are the different DeFi protocols which are working, tried to build a copy of that on a different blockchain, but then you figured out, okay, what is it that is missing over here? Which are the inefficiencies that we can work on, and how innovatively we can solve for different aspects. So you build on and you solve for the trilemma of blockchain, and come up with and ensure that, yes, this specific protocol is secure. Specifically in DeFi protocols, we see security is a major concern. And I think it's very interesting how you tread that path, essentially. And just circling back to what you've spoken out a lot as well about the Algorand blockchain. So the infra layer, I believe, is an important consideration when building a protocol, and requires evaluation at multiple levels to ensure the long-term success of the project. So on those lines, how did you decide on building on the Algorand blockchain, and how does it align with what you wish to achieve with the project?
Yeah. So the main reason it is because the software house was a partner of Algorand. So we already knew the technology, and we felt that we could have a competitive advantage compared to others that could come later. So this was for sure the first reason why we decided to build a DeFi on Algorand. And then the lending protocol, I said before, it's because of the reputation of Algorand and the institutionally oriented chain, let's say, which is perfect for DeFi, honestly, in general. But the lending protocol is just the first stop of when an institution wants to connect to DeFi, because borrowing and lending is the base of finances. In general, Algorand is a great technology. It's programmable, and the tooling is always growing. The programming language is always getting better and better. It's a great team behind, and I strongly believe that from great team can go out just great products, and those can stand out later in the long term. And it's the same mission that we have similarly with folksfinance. So just to say a few numbers, Algorand, it has 6,000 transactions per second, instant finality. The block time, it has been reduced from 4.5 to 2.9. So it's hugely quick, scalable, perfect for DeFi, I would tell. And, if we think of traditional finance moving into that, those requirements are so important. And also Algorand, it has never been down. It always worked. So this, if you think that you are a financial institution and you are moving billions, and then you cannot, and you are blocked maybe for 6 hours because the chain is down, it's not the best solution, right? Algorand never had any problem. The team is always doing a huge amount of tests before deploying new things, and as well, they are scaling up before the problem could arise. So I can tell you right now, on Algorand, there are 1% of the of its potential being used, so of the transactions, and this it represents how much of growth there could still be there without having a problem, and still the team is looking to upgrades. And moreover, one of the latest news of Algorand, I think it was a few days ago, it's the state proofs. Yeah. So state proofs, just to summarize, it is basically, I'm not a technician, but I'll try to make it simple for what is my understanding. It is a very secured way of building bridge. Bridge usually are built with smart contract in each chain, and then the light clients that make them talk, and the validator. So with the state proofs, we don't need this middle step, because it is thanks to the cryptography behind. State proofs can provide the proof of the state of the chain. Obviously, it has to be deploying the client in the single chain. But basically, it's making bridge very secure. And it is a very crucial point of blockchain and Web3 right now, because we saw that the largest amount of hack has been done on bridges so far. So this is a very groundbreaking technology that Algorand has just introduced, and then I think it's going to be widely used soon.
Definitely. I think it's very interesting how you've delved deeper into different aspects, because it is a very, very important consideration when you're finalizing, okay, this is the blockchain that we're building on, and specifically a DeFi protocol, like you mentioned, where you're moving billions of funds. It is important that you envision your long-term success along with the blockchain that you're building on. So I'd like to pick up another aspect here when we talk about the DeFi protocol. So customers are the key to success of any platform. And we've seen the growing stress being laid on making platforms and applications more robust with the UI and UX to ease user onboarding and the entire experience. So what is your strategy to onboard newer clients, customers, and users to your platform? And what is your target segment essentially?
Yes. So we listen a lot to our community, right? So we have deployed the version 1 of the protocol in April. And we have noticed that some users, not everyone, a lot, they are very happy on how Folks it is, that they have some friction in some of the operation. So in the V2, these are going to be totally solved. We are going to simplify a lot the user experience, and it will be very simple. But still, we are adding advanced features that are going to make folksfinance as also a protocol for lending protocol for let's say pro, like traders that they want to do more advanced things, and it's going to be then matching both the common users that wants to have everything simple, no friction, and as well someone else that wants to be more advanced. And so we are doing this mostly from the UX perspective, but also I really think that for mass adoption of blockchain and DeFi in particular, users are very scared to use DeFi due to the hacks. We are very concerned about it. So in the version 1, we have done 3 audits over the protocol, and not everyone is spending so much money on security. And also we have a bug bounty on Immunify running of $100,000. So that's what we do in order to ensure the highest level of security. Also, as well, we are doing it for the V2. We always want to be more secure as possible. And that's a very important thing. Then I think that merging those things like security, very good user experience, making it friendly for users, and as well, one thing that is very important, in my opinion, it's the TVL. So the total value locked of those protocols gives trust. If I am a new user and I want to deposit $1,000 and I go in a protocol that has $5,000, I might be very scared to do that, right? So if there are just 5,000, I'm going to be, to 20% of this share. So it's not that good. Like I would be scared. But if I'm depositing $1,000 and there are billions of dollars, I wouldn't really be worried. Like I would be very small fish into this huge aquarium. And I think that merging those things and trying to make simple, also together with video tutorial and the integration of other languages, community, ambassadors in different language. So I think that's the way of doing a right audience enlargement strategy.
Lovely. And it is very important as well, right? If we say we have to onboard the next billion users to Web3, how we transition an ordinary user and streamline the entire end-to-end experience for them to be able to use any kind of a protocol across the Web3 stack. It is very important that you keep the customer as the focus and build end-to-end, keeping in mind that viewpoint, which I think a lot of factors that you mentioned that you're already focused on, that really stands out as well. Taking it forward from the previous discussion now that we've had, so we've spoken about the blockchain, the Algorand blockchain that you've built on, even your customers. Now, additionally, investors, I believe, also play a key role in aiding in your success and also joining hands in the story that you believe in. So I see that you're backed by some valued investors. So what value do you drive from them, and what is the significance for you of having these investor backing?
Yeah, so it depends. Like there are different type of investors. Some of them we really consider them as team, and I won't do names like this guy is good, this is not. But it is different. You should think of something like investor most of the time, not most, all the time, they are there for making money, right? That's their job. It's fully understandable. So not of them, they are doing this and also being supportive. So you could see investor that, before they invest in you, they are chasing you every day. Do you need help? Do you want this? Make intro, things like that. Then once they have their tickets, they are disappeared. That's it. And that's common, but I think it's normal. It's in humans, we are like that. And others, they are hugely supportive. Like I have investors that I speak more than weekly, supporting with liquidity provision, connection, anything you really need, suggestions. Others, they represent quality sign, because some names are very difficult to achieve. Some are doing a lot of due diligence before investing in you, and community, but also other investors, knows that having such investor in your cap table, it means that this is a quality project. You can see also many influencers, once they review a project, they just go to the investor list and check who is there. That's it. Like also, one of the type of investment that we did is with project partners in the ecosystem, and we really liked this and think that it's very helpful, because this makes us collaborating, because with some of them we can co-invest, in the same in our project. So it is helping not just us but the entire ecosystem. So yes, that's what I think. Obviously, the first thing you need from an investor it's money, because you have to make your team and ensure a long run out. So that's very important. But then other investor goes beyond that and help you in other ways.
Absolutely. And I think these kinds of strategic investors really help you throughout, in that's the whole utility of not just them making money out of it, which is definitely their business, but joining hands together and they believing in that vision and looking at it from a broader perspective as to how can they help you and scale this up and definitely make their money out of it as well, and see the project growing and doing well as well. So I think that those kinds of strategic investors also play a lot of important role, which I'm sure must have been in your case as well. Now talking about the long-term vision of the project, or where we go from here. So I believe a startup journey is a long path with its ups and downs, but a robust vision does take you a long way. So what does the roadmap look like for the project at the moment, and how do we see it panning in the next few years?
So I'll tell you what, this usually changes, like crypto, it's so fast world. Like what you think it's a trend today is changing tomorrow. What was good today is not good tomorrow. So that's why it's one of the reasons why we don't want to have a roadmap on publishing on the website. We always tell what we are working on, because what we plan to work on tomorrow can change. In general, what's the plan? It is this. So we are working on the version 2 of the protocol, launching soon, surely this autumn. And then we will start to build the DAO and launch the token of the project, because Folks, our governance token, it hasn't been launched yet. And I have the economics team that right now is focusing on making a very innovative tokenomics. Also on this, like what it was trends a few months ago of tokenomics now changed because of the bear markets, right? So we will see. Things are evolving very quickly in crypto.
Definitely. And I think I really vouch with what you said. The markets are so volatile. I think not even days, within a day itself, you see startlingly different kinds of things happening. And this bear market has also taught us different kinds of aspects. What really stands the test of time or robust is essentially your infra and your project that you're building. So I think it's a very different and a very insightful way how you put it, that you really do not have a roadmap, but you work in the moment, you figure out what's happening in the space, what's working, and you quickly keep molding and amending your ways as and when it's needed. So just if we were talking about the bear market, so with the recent market turmoil, we've also seen massive drop in DeFi, TVL, and yields across protocols compared to what it was maybe 6 months back or even longer. So what are some of the challenges that you see upcoming in the DeFi space, which may be slowing the growth of these DeFi applications?
Yeah, so I have written an article about that. It's something that really touches me. I have seen projects that even didn't launch their product yet, already failing because of the bear market. And I have a criticism behind this, because most of the time the team isn't solid enough to receive millions of dollars of fundraise. So what you will see is maybe a good idea, a good project being built that starts to sponsor big party in America, spends hundreds thousands of dollars in things that are not really needed, and maybe converting their investment in dollars into altcoin, and then the market crash and they are without $1, right? So they are out. And in my opinion, this is also a problem that could be taken from the side of the early investor, right? Because I can be a genius as much as I want, and I'm not, I'm referring in general. But if I am 19, 20 years old, even 22, like with few millions of dollars to manage, and I never had those, it's kind of tempting, right? Like you feel that power and you want to spend those. So that's one of the main problem that we really have in crypto right now. And what else? It's very important, the type of project that you are building. So during the bear market in July, which was not a very good month at all, folksfinance was the first protocol on DeFi Llama for monthly growth in TVL. So we had a growth of TVL of 10x. This was being done because of the algo liquid governance and because of the way and the time and the design we have done through it and partnership. It was like I had all the team, we are 20, all working for this, and we had an amazing result. Like our TVL was boosting in an incredible way. And then what's to say? Like I think that solid projects with solid team are not afraid of bear market, because anyway you are prepared for those. And then we can think about even great projects that they have a lot of hype, like what happened to Terra Luna. It's something that I want to address just as the economic soundness of DeFi, right? This is so important as the same thing that I said at the beginning about the incentives. Not the whole DeFi is built to be sustainable. And that's a major problem. A lot of things are made to make money in the bull run. And once the bear market comes, everything crash. So that's it. Like I think that these three things: solid team, solid project on both technical and economic side, and then you can survive the bear market and just rise once there is the bull market. That's what I think we are doing, and we will keep doing it.
Absolutely. And I think those were amazing stats, like you mentioned, how folksfinance was growing on its TVL as well, because I think just adding on to what you said, having a sound and a structured team along with the founders who have a clear vision of what they're wanting to achieve, along with having maybe a stronger community, the kind of timing that you enter the market, the kind of traction you get, trusting the technology. I think all of these are very crucial aspects that you really need to consider, wholesome and a holistic way. And then you have the right vision, then be it bear markets, bull markets, they don't really impact you or hit you that hard, which I think you're clearly set on that vision as well.
100% agreeing.
Absolutely. Just the last bit, Ben, before we wrap up, what's happening in the markets right now, the buzzword. So Ethereum merge process has begun with the Velatrix upgrade going live on the Beacon chain and the next steps coming soon. What is your view on this upcoming Ethereum merge, and how do you think it will impact the Web3 ecosystem in the long term?
Yeah, I think it's something that we were waiting for so long, and finally it looks like we are there. hopefully will be everything all right. And this for sure is, like a milestone reached. And then I believe that things will start to take, the rise again. Maybe not quickly, slowly, but surely it is something important, right? But what I think it's going to change a lot this market. It's what is happening. For example, we are seeing a lot of tokenization of real world assets. That's so important because it will simply switch, especially in our sector, right, which is DeFi, will simply switch from DeFi for trading to DeFi for real use case. So I'll have my house and I can tokenize it and I can get a loan in USDC. And that's frictionless, that's permissionless. That's something that, in a lot of countries, it's not easy at all. Like in developing country, these the unbanked around the world are still over 1 billion, right? So but most of those, they have a smartphone, right? And they couldn't have a loan on a traditional bank, but with DeFi they could. So I think this is going to be really the revolution, because blockchain applied to finance, it's simply perfect. And it's communitarian, it's democratic, so it's permissionless. So I really believe in this power. And I think this will really bring the mass adoption. Yeah. And also one of very important things in order to have that, so it should be on parallel, it is that we have less friction in the usage. For example, the wallets, most of the people are afraid to lose their seed phrase and, to not recover their funds anymore. But many more options are growing, and this simply will be, composable with DeFi already there. And everything we will be using it and not even thinking about that, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
That's how I can conclude this.
Yeah, absolutely. I really hope for better and rosier times ahead. Though Ethereum merge had always been a big question mark. Do we really need, or how will this transition essentially happen when the chain is already running? But I think no better than the Ethereum chain trying to take this step. And if this does succeed really well, I think it's going to be a good boost to the entire ecosystem as well. And we should have
100%.
times ahead.
I agree.
Absolutely. On that note, thank you so much, Ben, for sharing these insights with us today. We do believe that you're working on disrupting the DeFi space in all the right ways, and there's a long way to go for the project. We wish you all the success in scaling this to greater heights.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely, for being a part of CuratedX and some very enriching insights with us today. There's really a lot to take from you. Thank you so much, Ben.
Thank you.